All right, so let's start with the road signs for code 10, right? Or heavy motor vehicles, code 10 and code 14, which is code 3. Right, so let's see. Let's see there. Good button. So first sign there, it's about to sign W6. W6. All right, so where's sign W6? There it is there. Sign W6. So the way you approach these questions, first you have to look at the sign and you do the interpretation of it, right? So for example, when I look at the sign, I see this is an arrestor bed sign, which tells me good ahead there's an off ramp in 500 meters naga left, which leads to the arrestor bed. Okay, that's the sign before you even go and check Gutama question certain. So now let's go and look at the question. I'm gonna start the poll. Guys, share the live. Tell us Ogoti, which one is correct about Usain W6? So I'm starting the poll. Yeah, the poll is on now. The poll is on. Let me know which one's the correct answer there. We are on question 92, which is asking us about Usain W6. Answer on the poll, right? Answer on the poll. All right, you have 20 seconds to answer on the poll. I see only 6 people have answered on the poll so far. All right. All right, 2, 1, 0. I'm closing it, right? I'm closing the poll. 7 people have answered on the poll. 6 chose C, and there is this one who chose A. That's the correct answer. Who's this? All right. So, yeah, the correct answer it is C, right? C was the correct answer. I still repeat again. You must interpret the sign before you even go and try to check the questions. And if you don't know these signs, then go back and do a theory. Go back and try and do a theory. D10. Let's see. Sign D10. They're asking us about UD10 this time. A, B, C. All right, that's D10 there, right? Wow, I find these questions kind of similar to the ones that we were doing yesterday. All right, so yeah, they are asking about that sign. So here's the first question. Which category of pharma science does that sign fall under? Is it a warning? Is it a command, prohibition, selective, control, or what? This sign, it falls under which category of pharma science? Samantha says prohibition. Amokelang says warning. Abayentin. Which category of pharma sign does that sign fall under? Timbali says warnings. Inimali says warning sign. Alright, Abanyantin. Cynthia prohibition sign. Manana warning signs, warnings. zinhle regulatory. Uviwe says prohibition sign. So yes, the correct answer it is a prohibition, right? It's a prohibition sign. For those of you who don't know, what does a prohibition do? It prohibits or it forbids, right? So it's the sign that tells you that this thing, it is not allowed. In this case, for example, that one, when we look at it, it's just telling us vehicles, goods vehicles that are longer than 15 meters, they are not allowed there, right? They are not allowed them. Now that we know that, let's go and look at the question. Go and look at the question. I'm gonna start the poll. All right, so there it is. Question 90 says sign D10 shows you that A, vehicles longer than 15 meter may not drive past this sign. B, the road is only 15 meters wide past this sign. C, no vehicles with trailers may drive past this sign. Which one is the correct answer? Is it A, B, or C? The poll is on. Tell me on the poll. On the poll, please answer on the poll. Ooh, yeah. So I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to find the poll before I close it. Only 30 seconds. All right. Right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm closing the poll. All right. I am closing the poll. Okay, there were 10 people who have answered on the poll. 8 chose A, 1 chose B and C, and another one chose C, right? Of Ndondo, I'm not sure why did you choose UC, right? No vehicles with trailers may pass this sign. Nah. We just explained what the sign mean. So yes, the 8 people who chose A, about Cynthia, right? So yeah, that's the correct answer. Again, that's what we said. This sign, it's a prohibition sign. It forbids or prohibits the vehicles that are above that. If you don't want to use that kind of interpretation, there are 2 ways in which you can deal with a prohibition sign. The easiest one, to use the word it prohibits, right? Right? You say, this sign forbids or prohibits this. But another variation, it could be if you are using a maximum, right? If we use the word maximum in it, is that this sign, it only allows vehicles, right, that are less than that, and maximum that number there, right? So if you use the word maximum, you're gonna use whatever a prohibition measures, and then you say that's the maximum. All right, let's move on. We go to sign K2. Spawn to sign K2. K2. Again, strategy is you must first understand the sign before you can even go and try to answer a question. So with this one, we see this is a combined sign, right? It's a combined sign. What did we combine there? We combined a command nani a selective restriction sign, right? So the sign on top is a command. So When I interpret the one at the top alone, it says what? Vehicles that carry dangerous goods, they must travel there. So I'm interpreting only the top one, right? Now when I combine it with the bottom one, it says what? That they must travel there between 6:30 no 9 or 4 no 8. So vehicles that carry dangerous goods, we are talking about your petrol, your oil, your gas, they must travel there between those time slots. Now let's go and look at the question. Now that we know that, you go and look at the question. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna start the poll. Let's see which one is the correct answer there. So we are on there. Question 88. Sign K2 shows that A, all vehicles may drive there during the times shown on the sign. B, tankers must use road during the time shown on the sign. C, vehicles carrying hazardous products may only use the road during the time slot, during the times that are shown in that sign. Yeah, so which one is the correct answer there? Is it A, is it B, or C? You have a minute to answer this. Answer on the poll. Where you answer, we answer on the poll, right? Guys, for those of you who haven't shared this live, please do that. Please do that. Share the live. All right. Yeah. Let's continue here. Let's continue. So I see that you answered. You chose C as the correct answer, right? Everyone chose C as the correct answer for this one. Let's see. It was, yeah, vehicles carrying hazardous. The word hazard it's a danger, right? It's another synonym for that. So yeah, vehicles that carry hazardous products may only use that road during the time slot. That's correct, guys. All right, that's correct. Let's move to the next one. I hope you are realizing something with these signs that we are dealing with right now, right? So these are the signs for heavy motor vehicles. These are the signs for heavy motor vehicles. You see all of the signs, they are just showing us heavy, right? All of these signs, these heavy motor vehicle. So now let's look at P2. The next one, it will be P2. All right, there we go. There's the sign there. All right. So, yeah, which category of farmer sign does that sign fall under? RTCs. Which category of armor signs does UP2 fall under? Which category of AMA signs does UB2 fall under? There is Ntonto says command signs. Miller says regulatory signs. Abanye nti Zinhle command. Uvuyiwe command. Sinemile command and Walanda command. Alright, yeah. So yeah, it is a command sign, right? It is a command sign. Now, how do you interpret a command? Alright, there are two ways, again, just like a prohibition sign, right? It will depend whether you are using the word must or you use the word minimum. Now, let's use the basic one, the minimum one. It says whatever that is measured there, the minimum of that is allowed in them, right? So in this case, it says vehicles with a mass of at least to 10 tons, they must use that road. So from 10 tons going up, they must use that road. If you wanted to use the word not allowed, it will be vehicles that weigh less than 10 tons, right? They are not allowed there, right? So those two different interpretations that explains the very same thing. Now let's go to the question. Let's go to the question and see. Where were we? Okay. All right, there we go. There we go. I'm gonna start the poll, right? I'm gonna start the poll. The poll is on, right? Tell us on question 86. They say sign B2 shows you that if your vehicle has EGVM, gross vehicle mass, of A, 8 tons, you must drive there at all times. B, 12 tons, you must drive there at all times. C, 10 tons, you must drive there whenever you want to. Which one is the correct answer? Is it A, is it B, or C? Sign B2 shows you that if you drive, your vehicle weighs that. Alright? Let me also display this. What does it tell you? Litini, this sign. What does it say? Which one is the correct answer? Is it A, B, or C? Question 86. Question 86. How to see is ukuthi nithi. Is it A? Is it B? Or C? So let me see. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Right? Give you another 30 seconds to answer on the poll. Remember, La Ekaya, we answer on the poll. We don't answer on the comment section. We use comment section to congratulate people, to ask questions, right? Other than that, we answer on the poll. Where's the poll? Top left. It has a countdown there, or a timer. If it's not there, check it on the top, the bottom right. Right next to the share button, you see it there, written poll. All right, I am closing the poll. If you didn't get it, you'll get it next time. All right, so yeah, people who have answered here, they were divided into two groups. 6 out of 10 people chose C as the correct answer. 4 out of 10 they chose B. So let me see. Good bobana bagupi. We have Cynthia. Who else? I don't see here. Zinhle, no, go, okay. No Kati. All right, and yeah, those 4 people who chose UP, that's correct. The 4 people who chose UP for this sign, that's correct. All right. The 6 people who chose C, saying 10 tons. You know, if your vehicle has weighs to 10 tons, you must drive there whenever you want to. No, not whenever you want to, right? This is a command. What does a command do? It instructs you. You must do that thing. This part, whenever you want to, it's not correct. Are we correct? I will find it. That part of whenever I want to know. When you command someone, you instruct them, hey, these vehicles, they must drive here. Not because they can choose or not. They must do that. So, since a command, we set a command. When it's like this, it says minimum 10 tons and above, right? 10 tons and above, they must drive there. Then B is the correct one because 12 tons is above 10 tons and they are driving there at all times. All right, so let's move on. Guys, remember this. Let me remind those of you who are not participating, right? You participate, you come here, you participate and get your answers wrong here so that we can correct you here. Don't go to what department and try to find out, Participate here. Participate, okay? All right, yeah, so those were the questions that were related to code 3, which was heavy motor vehicles. Now let's look at road science questions that have to do with code 2, code 8, or light motor vehicles, right? So the first question here, G9, okay, let's go to G9. I hope C# with the previous one, right? We were together with this one, right? Good, why the answer was B, not C? Yep, okay, cool. Now G9. G9, this is G and we go to 9. Let's see. All right, they are referring to that sign there. G9. They are referring to that sign. First, here's my question to you. Which category of signs does that sign fall under? Is it a command? Is it a control? Is it prohibition, warning? What's happening? Which category of signs does this sign fall under? Again, those of you who haven't shared this live, guys, please do that. You know, I was supposed to host this private today. Since I might be leaving, I was like, let me bring it to TikTok, right? So, share it live. All right, there is someone says command. Amanda says command. Zintle says command. Footy, reservation sign, right? And Uviwe says reservation. Alwande prohibition. Banyantin. There's like 40 something people here. Don't do reservation sign. All right, so yeah, the correct answer would be this is a reservation sign, right? My reservation sign. Now, what does it say? What does it communicate? It says someone who's driving what? A light motor vehicle. They must use that part of the road or that lane. It is reserved for light motor vehicles, right? It is reserved for light motor vehicle. Now that you know that, let's go to the questions. Go to the question and see. So I'm gonna start the poll. Let's say sign G9 shows you that A, you must use that part of the road. B, you can use that part of the road if you wish. C, there is a parking for motor cars. Which one is the correct answer? Is it A, is it B, or C? Tell me on the poll. Tell me on the poll. You have 40 seconds to tell me on the poll before I close it. And again, this is where you failed. isn't it? You come here, you make mistakes here. Here. All right. All right, I am closing the poll. I'm closing the poll. All right, so I see 16 people have answered on the poll. 9 chose C as the correct answer. 5 of them, they chose A, and 2 chose B. Therefore, which one's the correct answer? All right, so the 5 people who chose A, they are the ones who are correct. Okay, let me go back to the sign again. This was the sign there, right? This was a sign which was a reservation sign, which was telling us ukuthi phela this part of the road is reserved for momoto cars. Right now, here's the thing: the 9 people who chose C, you know, with a reservation sign, first thing, if it was talking about parking, which symbol will it have? Is it an R or a P? A reservation sign can have 2 letters. It's either an R or a P. So if it was talking about parking, would it have R or P? P, right? It was gonna be a P. But that one is an R, which is telling us that this part of the road or this lane, it is reserved for motor cars, right? So I hope the 9 people that didn't get it are getting it now, right? Again, guys, if you are struggling with these things, if you are struggling about knowing what reservation signs and so on, remember, I have a theory session. I have 3 ways, I think 3 or 4 ways at which I help people who are struggling with these things, right? Number 1, it's if you join the WhatsApp group, right? Joining fee for that is 200. Number 2, here I have training videos about that. We dive into the theory side of things, right? Each and every sign, I have a series that explains this. Every sign in detail, how to see a provision sign, how to see a command, how to see these kind of signs, and so on, right? To see command, provision, reservations, and stuff like that, so that any sign that you see, you are able to tell which one is it, and then what does it mean, right? Able to interpret. So let me warn you in advance, this is what most people do. You go and do question papers without doing the theory, right? Most people do that, do question papers and apps without doing what I'm talking about right now, without doing the theory. There's a danger into that. You learned the question paper, you didn't learn to understand the theory. There are 1,200 questions there what department, and if you're gonna do that approach, just pray the one that you are studying. Okay, all right, moving on. I think the last one of which I help you is YouTube channel SimplifyDrive. You go there, there are videos there. I'm not sure ukuthi wama road signs apumile yet, but yeah, last time I checked, yes, there were other ones. All right, let's move on. Sign C3. C3. Let's go to C3 and see what's happening there. Nyeleti, thank you for sharing the live. Much appreciated. C3, we are talking about this sign here. Again, understand, now we are in a section Yama light motor vehicle. Hence, these signs now they are talking about what? Light motor vehicle, right? All of them, they are strictly focusing on light motor vehicles. Okay, So sign C3, tell me, which category of farmer sign, when you see this sign, it falls under? Is it a prohibition? Is it a command? Is it a reservation? What's happening? Which category of farmer signs does this sign fall under? C3. Amanda says command, Lutando command, Futi command, Donto command, right? So yep, it's a command, right? And when we have, what does it mean when we have a symbol of a root user inside the command? How should we interpret that? Guminan. Let's hear. When we see a symbol, Guminan, in this case it's of a motor car, what does it mean? When we see a command with a symbol, it could be a motor car, it could be a taxi, it could be a minibus, goods vehicles, stuff like that. But how generally do we interpret it? Right, let's see. Selective command. What does it mean, Futi? What does it mean? All right, you are slow. So let me remind you. When we see a symbol inside a command, it's just telling us that only those root users, they are allowed to use that part, that root there, right? It's just telling us only these root users can use this part, this root. Now let's come here and see. Question 74. Sign C3 shows you that A, the area is for motor taxis only. B, you can drive there if you wish. C, you must drive there. The poll is on. I've just started a poll. Tell me, which one is the correct answer there? Is it A, is it B, or is it C? Which one is correct? A, B, or C? About sign C3. Let me put it there. You have 37 seconds to tell me on the poll. Which one do you think is the correct answer? Is it to A, is it to B, or is it to C? All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am closing the poll. All right. Again, I still see people who are writing, who are answering the comment section. Please, guys, please, poll, 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 poll. What's wrong? What's difficult about poll? All right. So 17 people have answered on the poll. Believe it or not, 9 chose A as the correct answer. 0 chose B, and 8 chose C. Right? The 9 people who chose A, that's incorrect. Alright? The 8 people who chose C, that's correct. Let me see who are these 8 people. I think Ntonto is there. Yes, Ntonto. Bonge. Orofile. Lovejoy. Alright. So yeah, those were the few of them, right? Even Cynthia is there. So the correct answer is C then. Why C? Number 1, the word you. Right? You must drive there. Remember, you are writing code 8 by the time. That means when at the type of the vehicle that you will be driving, it's only a light motor vehicle. Alright? So the word you, it refers to you as the driver who drives a light motor vehicle. Where must you drive? You must drive there, where I see that sign. Okay? The 9 people who chose A there, this is not a symbol of a taxi. the area is for motorcar taxis only. No, that would be C4. This one. Yes, if that was the sign which was shown there, then you to pick A, that would have been correct. But no, that's not about taxis. We are talking about motorcars here. The correct answer is C. Together, let's move on. Sign K3. 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 This one, right? Again, this is a combination sign. What did we combine? We've combined prohibition and the selective restriction sign there, right? We've combined those two, right? So the top sign alone, it says motorcars may not drive past that sign, right? And then the bottom one says, it adds on top of that, it says no, those motorcars, they cannot drive past that sign between 06 and 9, right? They are prohibited to use that part of the road between 06 and 9. Now that we know that, let's go to the questions and see which answer is the correct one. Right, question 72. There we go. Right, I'm gonna start the poll. Poll is on, and then yeah, tell me there, what does sign K3 show you? A, may not drive there between 06 and 09. B, may not park there for more than 3 hours. C, are only allowed to drive there between 06 and 09. Answer on the poll. That's where we answer. Timbali, I see you. You answer both. You answer on the poll. You also answer on the comment section. Please, only on the poll. Please, Enabo Amanda, please answer on the poll. Which one is the correct answer? So, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am closing it. All right. So yeah, 19 people chose. Okay, 19 people have answered. 18 of them chose A as the correct answer, and only one person chose C as the correct answer. Who's this person? Timbali. All right. So yeah, the 18 people were correct. The ones, all those ones who said you may not drive there between 06 and 09. You see, ama-science are easy, Njan. If you know your story, very, very easy. Very easy. But it is hard for people. I will repeat, they become hard for people who never covered the theory session. Okay? For people who haven't covered the theory session, they will cram this paper, the one that we are doing right now. But you give them a different paper, they see flames. Okay? Because they don't know how to interpret a sign when they see it. Let's go to the next one. F5. They are talking about this sign there. Again, let me give you a theory side of it. That's a prohibition sign. It forbids motorcars to drive past that sign. That's it. Right? Now let's answer the question. What's the question? Sign F5 shows you that A, no taxis may drive there. B, no motorcars may drive there. C, you may not park your motorcar there. Which one's the correct answer? I'm going to start the poll. The poll is on. Tell me, which one's the correct answer? Is it A, is it B, or is it C? Which one is the correct answer there? You have 25 seconds to tell me before I close this poll. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm closing it. All right. So 18 people have answered. 14 chose B as the correct answers. 3 chose A and 1 chose C. Who are these 3 people? Amanda, who chose A? Amanda, Tino, and Ritabil. Okay. The single person who chose C? Amanda. Another Amanda. All right. So which one's the correct answer there? Again, this was the sign. Right? Still, we still have people when they look at that symbol and say this symbol is for Texas. Right? They still think that symbol is for Texas. Right? That's the symbol for motor cars, people. Right? So A, all the people who chose A, the correct answer it is UP. The 14 people who chose UP. Someone says, Butle says, please let me know when you go live. I am planning to book my learners soon. So Butle, what happens? I normally tell people on my WhatsApp group that those are the ones that I tell to be part of that group. The price is saying I got change, but it's changing soon, right? It's 200 now at the moment. So that's where I do updates. Other than that, you just have to catch up with me. All right, yeah, that's it. Now we are done with my science that was strictly for light motor vehicles, right? Let's go and look at science that are general for both. It doesn't matter whether you are doing code 2 or code 3, right? Light motor vehicles or heavy, it just doesn't matter, right? So you have to know the science. By the way, people who are doing the heavy motor vehicles, they have to know science or light motor vehicles, right? I have to know how to interpret the science for light motor vehicles. Road signs are simple, but they can be a headache to other people. Trust me. They uzumuntu athi hayi intricate. Now, next. So sign L4. Let's go to L4 and see what's happening. L4. This is the sign they are asking us about. Again, this sign, it has nothing to do whether you are driving light motor vehicle or heavy, right? You just have to know it. What? So how to interpret the sign? This is a combination sign. They've combined the two categories of signs. They've combined a prohibition sign and then they combined it with a selective restriction sign. Me, this is how I interpret it. You should interpret it like that. The top one says you are not allowed to stop them, right? And the bottom one says between U7 no 9 or between U6 no, what was there, to 4 no 6. In that time slot, you are not allowed to stop them. Now, let's go and look at the question. How did they put it according to them when they were setting this? All right. So I'm going to start the poll. The poll is on. Question 52. Sign L4 prohibits you from A, using that section of the road during the certain times. B, parking there between 9 and 04. C, stopping there at certain hours. Which one is the correct answer? Tell me on the poll. Is it A, is it B, or C? Innocent on the poll. Ntwenhle, we answer on the poll here. Official on the poll. Wasithola utype A, B or C, you should know ukuthi you are doing it wrong. Go and answer on the poll. Go and answer on the poll. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm closing it, right? If I told you so next time. So Zaibamba next time. Right. So 19 people have answered on the poll. That's good. 13 of them, they chose C as the correct answer. 5 chose A. And only 1 person chose B. Now, which one is the correct answer? If ungizwile, how did I interpret that sign? Then you should know. Good. Here we were talking about OC. Where is it? Where is it? OC, right? Uguti. Stopping. There, it is prohibited or not allowed at certain times, right? I'm seeing people saying using that section of the road. All right. So C is the correct answer then. Are we together? Sisonke. Twentle says yes. Suelo says yes. Cynthia, yes. All right. So I'm gonna do the last question. Right? I'm gonna do the last question and close this live. You go and continue. We have a simulation test. Go into our road science. They test your understanding. You know, we also have this book A, book B, and C in the WhatsApp group. Now you tell me, I'll just share that, and then you go and practice this. I'm road science. Yesterday we were doing book C, by the way. So this is book A. All right. So let's see which one are we picking. Again, be focused. Only do road science. Don't try to maneuver around. Test yourself, your understanding under road science. Only. Unless we are in a hurry, we are pala soon. Like we are pala ksas or stuff like that. Right. A8. 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 So the question is about that sign there. The question is about that sign. Again, first thing before you even go to our questions to see, what can you pick in this? Which category of sign does this fall under? Let's start there. Which category of signs does A8 fall under? Amanda says command. Abanyentin. Lala, thank you for the gift. Much appreciated them. Tonto says warning sign. Alright. Abanyentin. Control signs. Zandile. Seulo regulatory is regular. I think. Amanda prohibition. Lala regulatory signs. And Lovejoy control sign. Footy warning sign. Okay, cool. Alright, so yeah, the correct answer would be this is a control sign. Right? Control sign. That's the first thing. What's the name of the sign? Those ones who said a regulatory sign, yes, regulatory sign is the umbrella of them all, right? Under my regulatory, you find command, you find control, you find all of a lot of signs. So when I ask you specifically about this one is a subcategory of a regulatory, which is a control sign. Its category is under control, and then its parent category will be a regulator. The next question, what is the name of that sign? Zinhle says no entry. Banyantin. Oh, sorry. No entry. No entry, right? So yeah, that's correct. No entry sign, right? That's your no entry sign. What does the no entry sign mean, right? It says, just like the name, you cannot enter here, right? You can't enter here. So you can't enter when we see that sign. All right. So yeah, now that we have interpreted what it means to us, let's go and see how did they phrase it for that. So sign A8 shows you that A, the road ends. B, you are not allowed to enter there. C, the entry is for ambulances only. I'm gonna start the poll. Tell me which one is correct about that sign. Is it A? Is it B? Or is it C? You have 30 seconds to tell me. 17 people have answered on the poll. Abanye basabhala on the comment section. I don't know what's wrong. Set the poll, babhala comment section. Alright, so it's in. Alright, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, 19 people have answered on the poll. And believe it or not, regardless that we already spoke about what does that sign mean, there is a person who chose A as the correct answer. Alright, so how many people? 18 chose B. Out of 19, they chose B, saying you are not allowed to enter there, and that's correct. That's what that sign it says. So yeah, good people, I'm gonna end this live session here. All right, I'm going to end this live session here. Go and make sure that you go and practice signs. Again, don't start by going to do a question paper, whatever it is, or the app. Start by covering the theory session, right? Start by covering the theory session. I have a WhatsApp group for that. I have recorded videos for that. All right, so if you need help, you know where to reach out. Other than that, have an amazing day. See you at 8:30 tonight. Private, right? It will be a private session then. Thank you. Cynthia says, what is an exhaust silencer? Exhaust silencer, Cynthia, it's what is it? You know, that silencer, it's that box nyana that makes your engine ukuthi ingarasi when you mayiduma, right? So that's what it is. Box nyana, if you can check the car underneath, you'll see a box there. That's a silencer, right? Yeah, it's the one that makes ukuthi moto ingarasi mayiduma. Okay, thank you. See you.